when I look at resumes, we get so many, right? I'm sure you guys are in the same boat. So make a friend. So what happens on my end is I usually look at resumes that come from a friend. And so Melissa of the world, my colleagues here, Hillary, you make friends and they say this person was fantastic at school or easy to work with or very talented, whatever the case is, and that will get you even closer because if you look around and if you guys are not working, you're competing against each other. So the easiest way, at least to get your foot in the door, is to make a friend and see if they can refer of some sort. Your teacher would be another person there. So I would say that. And the second thing is, outside of the stuff you're bringing, make a connection. Make a connection with your interviewer. For some, the 2 minutes before you go, or you're going in, before you formalize the interview, make mention. You might see a picture of their kids. You might see a golf trophy. I always kind of connect back to that and would say, oh, I see you're a golfer. Where have you golfed? Or, connect in that way. Or I see your kids in soccer. Oh, my kid's in soccer. Oh, where do you live? Oh, I live in the Grange. I live in the Grange. So when you make that connection, it becomes a little closer. You might know connections that would then take you to a different level. I end up looking at those resumes a little differently than being more objective in a sense because we get so many.
I think when you start interviewing, make sure that you understand who you're interviewing with. So do your research before you go for an interview and understand who that firm is, who that person is you might be sitting down with. Grammatical errors, always double check your work. That's huge for us. Sometimes we won't even call in somebody if we find simple things like that wrong on resumes or portfolios. Those are just two big things.
One of the most important things is to remember that we're interviewing you, but at the same time you're interviewing us, and you hear it very often from the people who interview. And it's just really important because if you're asking the right questions that are really important to you, like are you guys out in the community? Are you having lunch and learns? How are you mentoring? All of those types of questions, it shows us that you're really interested and engaged. And if you're at a firm that's not very responsive to those questions, then it may not be the firm for you and you may want to go somewhere else. So I think having those questions to interview the people that are interviewing, we'll know how interested you are, but also you'll get to know if it's the right fit for you.
For a past company I worked with, I was hiring, and the most memorable experience I had, they had a great resume, they had a great portfolio, and then the thank you note that I got the next day, and lived in the area obviously, so she hand delivered it. But it was a chocolate bar because we talked about the best chocolate that we'd ever had. And, again, the personality, the personal touch. So went and bought me my favorite candy, chocolate bar, and wrapped the thank you note around the candy bar and with her card again, and just said thank you for your time. I hired her. But it was just that memorable, and I knew that what I was looking for in that team member, that they're going to deliver personal, thoughtful touches in their client deliverable. So that was a winning factor for me.